5.12 information classification. It's all about protecting what's important. If you don't know what's important to you, then how are you going to protect it? You can't protect everything. You need to understand what is important. And that's what we're going to do in this particular control. But what does the actual standard say? Well, it says that information shall be classified according to the information security needs of the organization based on confidentiality, integrity, availability, and relevant interested parties requirements. So we're going to be using the CIA, the confidentiality, integrity, and availability triad. Now, why does the standard ask for this? Well, the simple answer is because not all data is created equal. Let me give you a simple example. Your HR department handles payroll data, passports, health information. That information is not just sensitive, but it's highly confidential. Compare that to a piece of marketing material designed to go public. That may be something that you can share widely, but until you launch that information, that detail, maybe it is classed as confidential or internally protected. So there's different levels of security that you would need to apply. But until you classify it, until you know what that information is, how are you going to do that? Because if you don't classify your information, you're left with two bad choices. Applying maximum security to everything, which just slows your business down, or applying minimum security to everything, which of course then leads to potential risk of a data breach. Either way, your program and your ISO 27001 audit are going to suffer. So what's the auditor going to look for when the auditor comes in and looks at your classification model? They'll want to see that you've documented a classification scheme, which we'll talk about shortly, that you've aligned it to the CIA triad, that's confidentiality, integrity, and availability, and you've used names that make sense to your business. And again, that's really important. Making this make sense to you and your business is critical if you want it to truly be embedded and to be embraced by those in the business that are going to use it. So here's a very simple schema that we recommend to all our clients because it works brilliantly. First of all, just have four basic levels. There's at the lowest level, public. This is information that you would share broadly and widely, and it doesn't really matter who gets to find out. That might be marketing materials and information that you would happily put out on social media or on your website. Internally protected. This is information that is of the next tier up, and this would be information that perhaps is your sales figures. It could be, of course, information about potential products and services that you want to launch in the future. It could be and should be your information security practices and processes. Your information security management system should be deemed to be, at the very least, internally protected. The kind of controls that you put around that we'll talk about a little later, but essentially it is information that you only share internally. The next level above that is confidential. This would be information that you would absolutely only share internally. It can never be shared externally with clients or customers or even trusted third parties. So confidential information might be your profit figures, your revenue that you've achieved. It can also be, of course, client information about what kind of clients you work with, or indeed who those clients actually are. And then finally, highly confidential. This would be any information which you would deem to be highly sensitive. So information like payroll data, salaries, that kind of confidential information, sensitive information. So information that is of the highest level of security that you'd want to apply. So there you are, 4 very simple classifications that you can employ: public, internally protected, confidential, and highly confidential. Now, for each level, you'll want to list examples and define how it should be protected. Let's say highly confidential data needs to be encrypted, stored securely, and only shared externally with board level sign off. So if you are going to share it, it has to have that senior level of sign off. And that can include sales reports, product designs, intellectual property, schematics, that type of thing. Obviously, you get the idea. You would need to apply this to your own business. So how do you decide what's important? As stated by this requirement, you need to assign this to the CIA model. So confidentially, how bad would it be if someone unauthorized were to access this information? What about integrity? Well, what if it was changed without your knowledge? Would that be bad? If it was on your schematics and your designs and such, it probably would. How about availability? How urgent do you need this? How hard would it be to replace it? Score each one of them high, medium, or low, and you'll get an idea of the level of classification you need to assign. Now, some simple approaches to this is to create a spreadsheet that has data type, CIA scores, assigned classification, handling instructions, disposal methods. Are you going to burn it? Are you going to shred it? Is it okay to just throw it in the bin? And then to give some practical examples that, again, apply to you and your organization. Now, just to finish, here's a pro tip. If you've already built your asset register and your ROPA, your records of processing activities, you can connect the dots. ROPAs focus on personal data, of course, but it shows your auditor that the classification isn't just a paper exercise, that it's actually embedded into your business. So just to close, remember, classification helps you make smart, risk-based decisions. It helps you protect what matters most. And more importantly, it helps you stay compliant, efficient, and secure.